To the bottom right of the map is the Terran player in red. He is now 1 game behind his opponent. Lost on Abyssal City. Will he win Ohana? His ID is
CJ Entus Bbyong.
Bbyong with a nice stretch in the first game, but what Genius did just completely crushed him. Starting to the top left now, the player for Slayers. It's the Protoss in blue. He is
Slayers Genius.
The most unpredictable Protoss player to have ever touched the GSL. You never know what he's thinking. He's good at everything.
Oh.
He's facing a gas first though.
Yeah, exactly. Gas first here for Bbyong. He really wants to turn up the heat now.
A lot of players really like this factory play on this map. And I think that might be what he's leaning towards.
One of the things that you can do on this map, which is really strong, is of course a one base all-in where you rely on a lot of Banshees. This is the same build that Mana had to face in his round, and a lot of Protoss players that this is actually the toughest situation for them to be in. If they face a one base Terran player, to actually anticipate how many Banshees he will use with his attack, because this is the one thing that you have to pay attention to. How many Stalkers do you actually get? If you don't get enough of them, then you won't be able to deal with the Banshees. If you get too many, you will be exposed to Siege Tanks, of course, later. So this is definitely a bit of a problem here for the Protoss. And what exactly is Bbyong going to do? His gas has, of course, been scouted by the probe, so it's not like Genius doesn't have any information here.
Yeah. He's very well aware. And he knows the timing of this as well. It's very easy to see the barracks is way later than it's supposed to be. You can click on the gas even to verify as he just did. You can even see the little click that he made there on screen.
When this...
Sorry. I was just going to say, he's just going to add the factory here.
When this map was first introduced into the map pool and we saw the first games, a lot of the problems that Protoss players had with this map was that the drop play for Terrans just killed them so fast. Because your expansion, or your main base and the main mineral line is just so close to the cliff, so if you don't see the dropship early enough, then suddenly in the heart of your main base there will be 5, 8, maybe more Marines and just tearing everything apart. Especially the drop with 4 Marauders is so strong. But nowadays, Protoss players know exactly what's coming, they know about the timings, they place pylons on the map, a few probes, make sure that they see in time what's happening, and then position Stalkers at the edge of the cliff, or even try to lure the Medivacs in before they take them down. So a lot of Terran players do not really rely on the late game on Ohana any longer, but start to go for a really heavy pressure play on one base or even on 2 bases.
You're right. By the way, we're going to see something interesting out of Genius again. It's Twilight Council this time. He went for double gas. Now this could mean one of 2 things, either a DT expand or Blink Stalker pressure. On this map, my money's on Blink Stalker pressure. This is a map where there's a huge wide open area to blink into the main base. There's also an area at the natural where it's very easy to harass there. So,
and with the builds that we have, it would actually be ingenious, no pun intended, but the thing is we currently see a Banshee play, most likely, with a tech lab that is now just coming up. So he might just get this one Medivac for his Hellions in order to elevate that in. But now with the positioning of the barracks, it looks like we are having a Banshee follow-up to the Hellions, and then Blink Stalkers can do so much damage.
Exactly, and this is not going to be a cloak Banshee build. He only has 1 gas, so he's not going to have any sort of advantage over his opponent since Genius will not have a robotics. He may decide to add the robotics later as well to get the Observer. Hellions are going to come in here and scout. This is a great aggressive way to put pressure on your opponent. It's probably not going to kill very many probes, maybe 3 at most.
But that's what you just mentioned, while we have 2 probes dying, and he's
wow, he should line them up like that!
Nice micro here, losing another one, but so far well done. Great micro here by Genius, really well done. Only losing 4 harvesters to this harass.
Yeah,
but
what could have been worse.
What you already said is so true. Genius takes a little bit of a risk here with not getting a robotics right away. So if Bbyong would have gone for the 2nd gas and also for cloak, he would have basically had an auto win here, because there's nothing that he can do. This is one of the reasons why Blizzard actually tried to introduce the Oracle in Heart of the Swarm, because they want to make non-robotics builds a little bit more viable against opponents who start with some kind of cloak build. But this is going to be just so hard for Bbyong to defend. It's not like this guy has any kind of Marauders now at his main base. Even the bunker is not done just yet. But
he's got
that's 1 Banshee.
He's got a free ticket into the main base of Genius.
With
Genius
4 Hellions.
Everything, potentially.
Yeah, there's nothing to defend. There's not a single sentry. And the Hellions are in, even with the warp in round.
And he just warped to the wrong place.
Oh my god, he
didn't see it.
Here.
He's going to lose every single
god.
There's no way.
Brutal.
There's no way to defend. He blinks into the main though.
Guys, if you have children in the room, make sure to cover their eyes, because this is a massacre.
He's got to blink down. I don't know if blinking all the way down was the right choice in this case.
The big problem is that all the time that Bbyong is losing, or Bbyong himself right now, will enable him to get more units, and there is nothing left. 22 workers killed. Those Hellions, they just decided the game. There are only 3 probes for Genius.
He's going to have to make sure he blinks these Stalkers down one by one when he fights these SCVs. If he does anything other than that, it's not going to be worth it. And here he goes, one down at a time, second one. As soon as the shields are gone, he goes down. They can still fire from the low ground. Oh, he loses one on the low ground, though.
Even with all SCVs left, it would still be a tough spot for Genius to be, and Bbyong currently has still 14 SCVs and the mules. GG. Game number 3 coming up now. The Blink Stalk idea was a really good one. I really liked this choice, but the one thing that he did not see coming were those Hellions that snuck around the right side of the map. He just didn't have any vision. He didn't expect them. And when he was at his opponent's main base, it was just too late. Those Hellions did the damage in just a few seconds. It was a little bit unlucky for Genius here, but well played by Bbyong.
Yeah, extremely so. Just taking a risk like that, even with the Blink Stalkers, is a build that can really work out. I love that camera shot. He's got a picture of himself on his iPad. You zoom out and you see him. I think the build choice was good, but you gotta, if you see Hellions like that, you gotta at least do a pylon wall at home, something like that, because you're just asking for trouble otherwise. Then, you know, he blinked in the main, but it was a tough position to fight for. The Hellions at home did so much extra damage. The bunker was up. He took some extra hits there as well.
The next map is going to be Cloud Kingdom.
Yeah, this is a map a lot of Terrans have been struggling with right now in this matchup.
The last map in the Terran versus Protoss match that we have here, the first best of 3 at the GSL Code 8 today, at the evening session, of course, it is. And here we have the 2 contenders. Look at this mouse pad, this keyboard for Genius. Is that dirt?
I think he's just got a keyboard cover on there.
That has, yeah, that is the Genius keyboard cover. It can't be that dirty.
Oh yeah, it's got to be a keyboard cover. It's like, it looks like it's dirty, but actually it's really clean.
It looks so funny. I can just see him typing, and then suddenly you see this dust cloud coming from the keyboard. Like,
it's just dust colored.
Well, the game is about to start, ladies and gentlemen. The last game, the last map between Genius and Bbyong. Here we go. It is Cloud Kingdom here at the GSL Code 8. Brought to you by Colin Wolf.